Hello students, good morning. Let's continue our chapter 5 of class 11, that is morphology of flowering plants. And we are studying about the different parts of a flower. So I have told you that a flower contains 4 different type of whorls, out of which we already studied 3 whorls, and today we will study about the 4th whorl, that is called gynoecium. Its other name is either carpel or pistil. So on this basis, how the carpels or gynoecium is arranged in a flower, they are of 2 types. One is apocarpus and another is syncarpus. Apocarpus means when the carpels are free. When the carpels are free. Carpels free, apocarpus, and here syncarpus means carpels fused. So these 2 type of gynoecium or pistil or carpel we can see in a flower, apocarpus and syncarpus. Again, on the basis of their presence of seed, they are also divided into uniloculated and multiloculated. So uniloculated ovary means, here another term comes, uniloculated. Uniloculated means when the ovary contains a single seed. Ovary contains single seed is called uniloculated, and in case of multiloculated, the ovary contains many seeds. So now I am going to teach you placentation, about placentation. So let's understand what is placentation. Placentation means arrangement of seeds on a flower or inside the ovary. Arrangement of seeds inside the ovary. So on this basis, it is of 4 types. How many types? 4 types. One is your marginal, another is axile, next one is parietal, and the last one is precentral. So let's understand what are they. Precentral and another is your basal. They are of 5 types. So first one is marginal, second is axile, third is parietal, fourth is precentral, and fifth is basal. So let's understand them in detail. First, marginal. What is marginal ovary? Marginal ovary means when the seeds are arise from the margin or from the ridge. You have seen P means matar phali. When you eat matar phali, or when you open a matar phali, means P, then you can see the seeds are arranged like this. In this way the seeds are arranged, means the seeds are arranged on a margin. That's why this type of arrangement of seed is called marginal placentation. Example P. Clear? Second one is your axile. Axile means on the upper part of the ovary. So this type of placentation means axial placentation, in which septum is present, means it divides the ovary into many parts like this. This type of arrangement you can see in China rolls, tomato and lemon. If you cut a lemon, then you can see how the arrangement of seeds are occur. Exactly this type of arrangement of seeds occur, and the seeds are present like this. This type of arrangement is called axile. Next one is your parietal. As you know, parietal means, periphery means away from the center, means which away from the center. This is center. The seeds are not present in the center. They are present away from the center. That's why they are present in periphery. This type of arrangement is called parietal, and you can see this type of arrangement of seed in mustard and agrinum. This is also oil seed, mustard and agrinum shows parietal type of placentation. Next is your precentral. Precentral means here the seeds are present in the center without any septum, means without any separation wall. You can see there is no separation wall, like in case of axile. Here is the septum, here is the septum, here is the septum, but here no septum is present, but seeds are present centrally. That's why this is called precentral, means it is present in the center without any septum. And this type of arrangement of seed we can see in dianthus and primrose. Evening primrose, white colored plant, they are so fragrant. These flowers blooms at night, and before the winter, these flowers bloom on trees, you can see. Next is your basal. Basal means when the seed is directly attached with the ovary, or when the seed is directly formed from the basal part of the ovary. So this type of arrangement of seed is seen in sunflower and marigold. You know very well about marigold, means gende ki phool. If you put out all the seeds, then you can see the ovary and how the seeds are attached on it. If I have flower, then must I will sow, but now the flower is not available. So let's continue the topic, gynoecium. As I have told you that the gynoecium is the female part, and it is consist of stigma, style and ovary. Like this you already have studied in class 10. This is stigma, this is style, and this part is ovary. And inside this ovary, embryo sac is present. Embryo sac is present, which further converts into ovule or then seed. Clear? So this is the female part, or which is called gynoecium. Today we will studied about placentation, means arrangement of seeds inside the ovary, and 5 different type of placentation: marginal, axial, central, then your precentral, parietal and basal. So next topic I am going to teach you is your fruit. We are going to study about the fruit. Do you know what is the function of fruit? Fruit contains the embryo. So the fruit. Next topic is the fruit. So as we know, flower is the reproductive part of a plant, and it contains the reproductive organs. So when the flower, inside the flower fertilization occurs, after fertilization the ovary, this is ovary, get converted into fruit. And outside the ovary, it may be covered by a layer which is called pericarp. Pericarp. And again pericarp is divided into 3 parts like this. One is epicarp, the outer layer. Next is mesocarp, the middle layer. And next is endocarp, the inner layer. This is outer layer, this is middle layer, and this is inner layer. So they are the parts of a flower. Fruit. Again, fruit is of 2 types on the basis of their formation. One is true fruit and another is false fruit. True fruit means when the ovary grows as fruit is called true fruit. Like your example, you can give mango. Mango is a true fruit. And false fruit means when the thalamus, when here ovary not grows as fruit. In case of false fruit, the thalamus on which ovary get attached. Yesterday I have taught you this part is thalamus and this part is your ovary. So false fruit means when thalamus grows as fruit. This type of fruit is called false fruit. Clear? So we can see in apple and strawberry. So the fruit that we eat, means apple and strawberry, are not true fruits. They are false fruit, as they are grow from the thalamus. Again, another type of fruit you know about, parthenocarpic fruit. Parthenocarpic. Here I have told you about true fruit, then your false fruit, and here is your parthenocarpic fruit. Parthenocarpic fruit means formation of fruit occurs without fertilization. Means you think fertilization will not occur, but still we get the fruit. This is miracle. So this type of fruit, we can take example of banana. Parthenocarpic means formation of fruit without fertilization. Formation of fruit without fertilization. Clear? So here we know about 3 different type of food, and you can give the example. Banana. Banana means kela. So here we know 3 types fruit. You should have to remember parthenocarpic, in which fruit formation occur but no fertilization. True fruit, ovary grows as fruit. False fruit, thalamus grows as fruit. And examples also you should remember is it parthenocarpic banana, true fruit mango, false fruit apple and strawberry, as they are growing from their thalamus. So next topic we will study is the seed. You can write this. Next topic is our seed. As we know, the ovary converted into fruit and the embryo sac. The diagram which I erased now, I show you that the embryo sac or the ovule get converted into seed. Ovule get converted into seed. The ovule get converted into seed. So the outer layer of ovule, suppose this is a seed. This is a seed. It is a tough, it has a tough hard covering. This is called testa. The outer layer of the seed is called testa and the inner is called tegmen. This is the outer layer and this layer is inner layer. This is called tegmen. You have must eaten the germinated seeds, and if you see, then it has 2 covers. One is its outer hard cover and another is transparent or white color cover. So that cover is called your tegmen. Then another pore is present there, which is called hilum. From hilum, micropylar region is present, through which or within the micropyle the embryo germinates. This is micropyle and converted from hilum. Hilum is in seed and when it start growing, then it converted into micropyle and the embryo come through it. Clear? Next, what happens? Many times a seed has remnants, endosperm remains, and in some cases the endosperm is completely consumed. So what is endosperm? You know about it. I know you know about it because I have taught you in class 10. Endosperm is the reserve food material that provides nutrition during the growing of an embryo. So here, on the presence and absence of endosperm during the embryonic development, it is again divided into 2 types that we will study later. First, let's see. Seed is of 2 types. One is your monocot seed and another is your dicot seed. In monocot seed, single cotyledon and dicot, double cotyledon. If we see a seed, dicot seed, then we can see different parts like This is a dicot seed. This is a dicot seed. Clear? This region is micropyle. This is micropyle, and this is the pore which is called hilum. This pore is called hilum, and the outer layer is called the seed coat. And here also an embryonal axis presents, which on growing divides the seed into two halves like this. So this, when it starts germinating, then it has two cotyledons. That's why it is called dicot. And in monocots it has only a single cotyledon, so it is called monocot. So here, on the basis of endosperm consumption, they are again divided into two types. One is endospermous and another is non-endospermous. One is endospermous and another is non-endospermous. Endospermous means if the endosperm remains after embryogenesis, means एम्ब्रियो फॉर्मेशन होने के बाद अगर एंडोस्पर्म बच जाता है तो इट इज कॉल्ड एंडोस्पर्मस. इफ इट रिमेन्स और इट डजंट रिमेन्स left, then it is non-endospermous. So monocots have endospermous seed like your maize, wheat and rice. But dicots have non-endospermous. Means in dicots, during embryonic stage or embryonic development, the endosperm is completely consumed. So we can take example as gram means black chana, and beans, then your pea means matar phali. These are the examples of dicots. When they are start growing, the endosperm is completely consumed. That's why they are called non-endospermous. But in case of monocots, the endosperm remains after embryogenesis. That's why they are called endospermous. Is that clear? Next, let's see different parts of a seed, dicot seed. You can see the dicot seed. This part is called radicle. This part is called plumule. Radicle get converted into future root and plumule get converted into future shoot. Radicle get converted into root and radicle get root and plumule get shoot. But when they are present inside a seed, they are protected by coleoptile and coleorhiza. Plumule is protected by coleoptile and radicle is protected by coleorhiza. Clear? So next, let's see a monocot seed. You can see this is dicot seed. This is a monocot seed. This looks like this. Clear? So here the parts, we will label this. This layer is called your aleuron layer. This layer is called aleuron layer. It is proteinous in nature and contains protein. This part contains endosperm. This part contains, look at this, this part contains endosperm. Here is the radicle and here is the coleorhiza. This is radicle and this is coleorhiza. This is plumule and this is plumule and this is coleoptile. This part is plumule and this part is coleoptile. Means, this part is coleoptile and this part is plumule. This is coleoptile. Means inside the seed, plumule is protected by coleoptile and root is protected by coleoriza. Is that clear, students? So this is a monocot seed and this is a dicot seed. Clear? So next we can see that here seed contains the embryo which further develops into a plant. If I show you a maize seed, you can see this is the embryo. This is the embryo. The narrow stretch inside the seed is called embryo, and this will grow as a whole new plant. So this is all about your seed.